But yeah, if you could start, but yeah, you have on there the name and how you spell it, so that when they're doing it,
Oh, okay.
they can write it on
So
the film.
Your name?
I'm Nadine Schuette,
And how do
Schuette.
Right.
I live at 657 East Lake Drive.
And just tell us about how you came to be here.
Well, back in 51 or 52, my husband visited some friends here in Edwardsville, and they were friends of George Bloom, who lived on Oak, I believe it is, in Westlake. And he took Norm for a boat ride, and when he came back in, he asked Norm if he could dive underwater and remove a stump that was at the end of his boat dock, because his kids like to swim. And so Norm said, sure, I think I can do that. And so he did, and so Norm said later, he said, you know, I'm going to live on Dunlap Lake one of these days. So in '74, we came up here to the Edwardsville and took a drive around the lake, and we saw this little wooden sign, hand-painted, sticking on the grass, and it said the lot was for sale. So we contacted the people who lived in Granite City, and they met us up there at a later time, and so we purchased that lot on July the 23rd, 1954. Norm was in service at the time, and he got out in February of '55. And he came up to pay his Lake Association fees. And I believe there was an office on Franklin where they were doing business at the time. And he went in and talked to Mr. Turner, and he found the map on the wall and asked Mr. Turner if the lot next door to us was for sale, and he said yes. And so Norm says, well, how much would that lot be? And he said it would be $750. When we bought the first lot, there was no water behind our lot. And unbeknownst to Norm, while he was in service, they came in and they dug out an arm right behind us. And so Norm paid his association fees and went back and got the money and came back, and Mr. Turner told him, he said, you know, he said, I really got in trouble for quoting that price. He said, because there is now water behind those lots. And he said it was supposed to be double, but he said, I told you $750, and that's what I will sell it to you for. So we were able to purchase 2 lots for $1,500 on Dunlap Lake. Wishing we would have had more money at the time to buy more, but that didn't happen.
Very nice. What are some of your memories with your family on the lake?
Well, we purchased a southern home, and it was a pre-cut home, and they came out in August of '55 and erected the house in one day. When they left, the roof was on with the shingles, the doors were in and locked, the windows, and then it was up excuse me, to finish the inside of the house. And we were married in September of '55 and moved into the basement. And Norm got sick about 6 weeks later, and so we had to leave and go to Collinsville for a couple of months. And so family and friends helped finish the inside of the house so we could move back in. We have 3 children. They were all born and raised here on the lake. Had a lot of fun. We had wonderful neighbors.
Okay. Were there some difficult times too? Do you remember any?
Yes. As you probably all know, there was no city water and no sewers out on the lake. And with 3 small children, it meant a lot of trips to the laundromat, because we had a well, we had a cistern, and we also had lake water that we could use for flushing the toilets. And when company would come, everyone was told, take it easy on the water situation so we wouldn't run out of water. And we were very, very happy when the water came in mid-70s, and also the sewers. That saved the lake, because so many people were not doing their thing to take care of the sewage.
And as far as some of the kids' activities, what did the kids do in the summer out here that you remember?
Well, they were always outdoors, and they would, my oldest son was a fisherman, and he loved to fish. They would always camp because there were no houses across the street, so they would have campouts across the street and bring kids from town out, ride bicycles, and just basically enjoy the outdoors.
Very good. And tell us a little bit about your neighbors.
We had one set of neighbors, and they were basically almost family to us. It was Wen and Marie Pass. They lived next door to us. They built the house next door. And they were just wonderful. They were always giving things to our kids. Their children were a few years older than ours, and so they were handing down baseballs, basketballs, bicycles, and they just were practically our family. We had a lot of university professors that lived around us, and they were all really very friendly. We just had a great community of friends.
Do you remember some, let's see, anything else you think of? Anything else you want to share?
Well, we started out with a fishing boat, and when people would come to visit, it was just not the greatest way to show people the lake by using a fishing boat. And it was in the 70s that we were able to purchase a pontoon boat, and that was really great because you could take friends out and just really enjoy the lake. It's been a great place to raise the family, and it's so close to town, so many conveniences. And right now, all three of my children live on East Lake Drive. I have a son that lives next door to me. My daughter lives about 5 houses down, and another son about 10, 12 houses down, and then next to him live my brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
Oh, gosh.
So it's become a family affair.
So what would be your wishes for the future of the lake?
Well, I hope that whoever is in charge can do their best with the rest of the committee members to see if they can get the money necessary to do the dredging that's needed and do any other repairs, because I'd hate to see it fall in disrepair, because it's just been such a great place.
Carolyn, you got any questions?
Let's see. I think you get most of it. Anything, you really think we should not forget, or things, if we're capturing a history, is there anything you want us to look into or not forget, or?
You got your whole tribe right down the street with you. Really, you do.
Well, I think it's wonderful that you people are taking the time and making the effort to put all of this together and let other people know the history of the lake, and hopefully that they can all have enjoyment of the lake also in their later years.
Great. I'm going to do a commercial for us for the 80th anniversary and just say something like, hope to see you January 12th at the Wildie.
Please come to the Lake Association meeting at the Wildie on January the 12th. I'm sure that what the committee has put together will be most enjoyable, and it would be fun to see everyone.
Perfect.
Gosh, Slate.